So last week at the end of the Child's Play look back, I said that we were going to be looking at another terrible movie this week. However, I'm not sure if that statement is true because I'm not sure if what we're looking at today is actually a movie. That's because today we are looking at Fateful Findings, which is allegedly a film made by Neil Breen. And when I say made by Neil Breen, I mean directed, written, produced, edited by, and starring Neil Breen. So Neil Breen is famous for these kind of movies. He's famous for the so bad it's good type media. He's made 6 of these. I've watched another one previously. It was kind of similar to this one. This one, though, is considered his magnum opus of all of them. A lot of people say that this is his best one. It was also his 3rd one out of the, I believe, 7 films he's made so far. The one I watched previously was Double Down, which was his first one. That came out in 2005. This came out in 2012. As for what it's about, I don't know. I just watched it. It's 100 minutes long. 100 minutes. I just watched it, and I couldn't for the life of you tell you what happened. I'm gonna try, but I don't really know. So let me try before we go through it. So there's this dude named Dylan, and he gets a magical stone, and then he gets hit by a car, and then he recovers quickly because of the stone, I think, and then he meets a woman who he also met as a child, but also he's supposed to be writing a book, but he's not really writing a book. He's hacking into the government to steal their secrets, and he owns 5 laptops. And yeah, it's, I don't know what the fuck, man. Well, I mentioned this was a Twitch Points request by Rez, because it is. Thank you, Rez, for using your points on this. I'm sure you already guessed that, because, why would I watch this on my own volition? So, I'm now going to try my best to bring you Fateful Findings, released in 2013. Well, let's just go through what I think happened. Alright, so 2 kids named Dylan and Leah are 8 years old, or maybe they're 9, they say different ages throughout the film, and they find a magic mushroom that transforms into a stone, and then also there's a ghost, and then they take the stone, and then Leah moves away. We then go to sometime later, and Dylan's an adult married to a woman named Emily. I don't know how old he's supposed to be. He looks like he's 65, but I think he's supposed to be in his 30s or something. And he's just walking down the street talking to Emily, and then he gets hit by a car. Emily and Dylan's friend Jim go to the hospital, and the doctor is like, yeah, he's gonna die, so that's unfortunate. But let me call this other lady in. She's the director of radiology, and she just kind of looks at him like, yeah, he's definitely gonna die. But then he doesn't die. He just wakes up because of the stone, I think, in his hand, and then he just discharges himself and goes home and takes a shower. And his wife gets in the shower with him, everything's fine, even though he's leaking a lot of blood because he got hit by a car. And you can't just discharge yourself like that. Not to mention that hospital stay is going to cost you 80 grand. This is America. You might as well just stay in there. So Dylan's fine now. Well, not really. He's having headaches, but he's mostly fine. And he's got 7 laptops because he's a writer and he's writing his next book. His first book was really successful. Apparently, he also has a master's degree in computer science. I doubt that, but he says he did. Meanwhile, we meet Jim again, and also his wife, Amy, and they're having problems, and they have a daughter, or I think she's a stepdaughter, I don't remember, named Allie. So Dylan's been taking pills for his condition, but he doesn't want to take them anymore, so he flushes them down the toilet, but his wife takes them out of the toilet because she's also got a pill addiction, I guess. Dylan then goes to meet with his therapist in a conference room for some reason, and the therapist is like, you should take more drugs, and Dylan's like, I don't wanna. And then the next day, Dylan passes out again, and he spills coffee on one of his laptops. Good thing he's got 17 more. They then have dinner with Jim's family where nothing happens, other than we learn that Jim's got an alcohol problem. Sometime later on, he confronts his wife about her pill addiction, and he's like, you should go to rehab, and she just says no, and that's the end of that. Dylan's also meeting with a psychologist, I think. It's just some old lady in the back room, and they're talking about spirits and shit, I don't know. We also see visions of some sort of man in black, like the bad guy from Halloween 6. Dylan also reveals to his wife, Emily, that he's been hacking into government websites and stealing government secrets. How? I don't know. He must have a lot of VPNs, but he's like, oh yeah, I'm stealing government secrets. I'm not writing the book at all. He's also having visions of like a book, and also he's in some black room, which you can see is just a room lined with trash bags, and he's naked for some reason. He's naked so much. So sometime later, they're having a pool party, and the director of radiology shows up, even though they barely know each other. Oh, it turns out the director of radiology, though, is actually Leah, that girl who he was friends with when he was 8 or 9 or whatever, and they found a stone. And him and Leah, like, get it back on immediately, even though, again, Dylan's married, and Leah's also has a fiance. Near the end of the barbecue, Jim, who's drunk again, sexually assaults Emily by grabbing her by the waist, and then he knocks over all the sweet corn. We have the weirdest fucking shit in this movie. The next day, the daughter, Allie, who again, I'm pretty sure is supposed to be in high school, is swimming topless in Neil's pool and then taking a bath. I'm sorry, Dylan's pool, and then taking a bath and trying to seduce him. And Dylan's like, you gotta stop because fucking yeah. Later on, Jim and Amy fight again and pour their drinks on each other, and then Jim goes to work on a sweet car, and Amy goes and gets a gun and is like, I'm gonna shoot your car, but she misses and just fucking shoots him in the head and murders him. Allie sees this too, but Amy just tells her to go along with it, and she plants the gun on Jim, and then when Dylan shows up, she's like, oh yeah, he committed suicide. And Dylan's like, I can't believe it. How could you commit suicide? Emily then starts blaming herself for Jim's suicide because she thinks because she pushed him away after he sexually assaulted her at the pool party, that led him to killing himself. And she also gets more addicted to pills. Also, I guess Emily called the therapist and told the therapist about Dylan stealing government secrets. It doesn't matter though, because nothing ever comes of this. Dylan and Leah then meet by chance, I guess, at a park and then end up having a little date. They then go back to the same spot where they found the stone where they were kids, and they have sex there, while meanwhile, Emily, back at home, overdoses on pills and dies. Sometime later, after banging Leah, Dylan goes home and finds his dead wife and just says, I know it was you? I'm guessing he means he knows it was her that told the therapist? I don't know, man. He then wastes literally 0 time replacing her. Like, Leah just moves in and is his new wife now, and she's sleeping in their bed, and he wastes no time at all. Just fuck Emily, I guess. Sometime later, Leah then gets kidnapped by some dude. Neil finds her purse and a note, which I'm guessing, I don't know what the note said. I'm guessing it told him where to find her because he shows up at Storage Wars and then he just knocks the attacker out with a beer bottle, and then he phases through the wall of this little RV that Leah's being held in, and then phases them both through the door again, and they escape. Sometime later, I guess Allie's at it again, and Dylan's like, you gotta knock it off. And Allie's like, oh, by the way, my dad didn't really commit suicide. My mom killed him. And Dylan's like, what the fuck? He tells her to go to police, and I don't know if she does because we never see her or Amy again. Later that night, I guess, Neil and Leah are sleeping. Dylan and Leah are sleeping. The man in black from Halloween 6 walks through their house, and then Dylan wakes up and decides he needs to go to Nevada. And he goes in the middle of the desert, and he finds a book again and some ghosts, and he's like, are we in danger because of the book? I don't fucking know what's going on, brother. Like, you might be watching this right now saying, oh no, you're doing a poor job explaining this. No, I'm not. Like, I have no idea what the fuck's going on. You watch it then, and tell me what's going on. Bet you can't. Oh, also, his psychotherapist, psychologist person, or whatever, was also a ghost. So, yeah. So now he's back from Nevada, and he's sleeping again, and then the man in black's in his home again, and then the man in black has blood drip from his head, kind of like Neil did earlier, implying that the man in black is actually him, I guess, because he phased for the wall too. Is it him in ghost form? Or is it alternate reality him? I don't know, man. So now Dylan's in DC and he's hosting a press conference in front of National Archives building somehow, and he publicly reveals his government secrets. And that causes multiple senators and Wall Street brokers and insurance people to all kill themselves because Dylan exposed the corruption. That's just the American government, brother. What about the tariffs? How about you do something about the tariffs, Dylan? Oh, and also during this, some dude tries to assassinate him, and then he just gets killed by somebody who we don't know who it was. Maybe it was the Stone. Anyway, Dylan and Leah, who have still not done anything about the tariffs, go back to their spot from the beginning of the movie, and they make out and probably bone again. And that's it. That's how it ends. That's the whole film. This is actually what happens. Everything I described to you, like, this is what happens. I know you're thinking, like, oh, it can't actually be that convoluted and nonsensical. No, it is. I promise you it is. Go watch the movie for yourself. You can find it pretty easily. You can probably find a copy on YouTube. I did a reaction to it, too. I watched it on Twitch, and I'm going to upload it to my main YouTube later this week, so you can watch that later this week. But you can probably find it on YouTube. I found it on Internet Archive, so you can download it off there. Like, it's there, brother. This is the most convoluted thing I've ever watched in my life, and I've watched 4 Birdemic movies. Or was it 3 Birdemic movies? How many Birdemics were there? Was there a 4th one? I don't remember. And you know what's funny? Like, normally a movie like this, I would never, under any circumstance, recommend you watch it. But, like, you kind of have to, man. Like, you won't figure anything else out from watching it. Like, you're not going to understand it by watching it. You'll probably be even more confused. But, like, maybe it's just selfish, because, like, if I had to watch it, so do you. And I'm warning you, brother, it's 100 minutes long. It's an hour 40. Like, it's holy shit long. Like, I've watched Halloween movies that are less than this, but this is the most batshit thing I've ever watched in my life. I've never been more confused by anything than I am at this. So, I would recommend you watch it just to see if you can, how much you can decipher, honestly. So yeah, thank you, InterRez, for using your Twitch points on what was allegedly a movie. Next week, this is a funny-ass transition. You might be thinking, what could we possibly be doing next week after this? Next week, we're going to watch Interstellar. Which is just an unbelievable transition. Yeah, but I guess, is there any relation? This movie thinks that it's artsy, and so does Interstellar. But Interstellar actually is art, in a sense. This tried to be. This is bad art. I guess it's art in a sense. I mean, you know, it definitely tried to be. But yeah, we're gonna watch Interstellar next week, which is one of the best films I've ever seen, compared to this, which is one of the films I've ever seen. But yeah, seriously, look this up, watch it for yourself, see what I'm talking about. You probably won't. You just try it. Just try it, my brother. That's it from me today, though. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you to all my patrons for supporting me and my channels. I appreciate you guys. That is it for me today, though. My name's Noah Taff. This has been my look back at Fateful Findings, which was, for some reason, released in 2013. Or was it 2012, actually? My file said 2013. Oh, this was released in select theaters, by the way. Not a lot. Probably only like 2 of them. But that was 2014. But its public debut was 2013. So yeah, 2013. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.